while I'm on hold with this truck place to find out what's happening with our truck. I guess it's okay to record that in the background, isn't it? It's an advertisement. Okay. I forgot what I was going to say now. Let me put this on hold. I was saying, okay, Sayaka, if you are aware of this number symbolism, you got to be in the secret police. There's no other way. So I'm saying something like that, and what if the place where you're still working sees this and says, she's in the secret police? Well, if they ask you, what are you going to say? You're going to say, no, I'm not. Right? Well, anyway, okay. So you got to be in the secret police if you know the number symbolism that I discuss. Because that's a number language the secret police have developed with me over 10 years of harassment. This isn't something I want. It's just they keep pounding into me, you know? These numbers they keep throwing at me again and again and again, okay? So, you got to be in the secret police if you understand those numbers. Now, what was I going to say beyond that? I'm in an emotional blackout from fear. Do you realize I'm taking on the secret police of the United States? Me, good luck with that, right? And I'm laughing. Let me put this on pause. Okay, let me try to remember. You got to be in the secret police to understand. Okay, so if you're in the secret police, I've often got the feeling that you might be listening in with like a whole Grand Central Station of spies. It's all tuned into my phone. Okay, so since I do feel that sometimes you're in there, I'm saying, she would not do that. Well, you would do that if you were in the secret police, and you've indicated to me that you're trying to get out of being in the secret police, okay? You're trying to escape. Like that couple you showed me in what I used to call your website, okay? And I vowed never to look at that again, but I looked at it last night. Because I said, look, yeah, I said I wouldn't, but I was talking about when I go back to your country and ask for you, I said, hold on. It's easier to check that first. So I looked at that just briefly, and I saw lots of my videos on there. I didn't really look long enough to come to any conclusions about what videos were there, but all I did notice was I didn't see that you were on after the last time I saw you, which was back in March. So you're supposed to be on quarterly now. There was no June appearance as far as I could tell. Maybe there was, but it wasn't recorded in a video the way all your appearances used to be. So there was nothing there for June. They said the next one is going to be in August or September if you come on. Okay, so if you are in the secret police and you're trying to escape, you're in a very complex situation, and that's one of the reasons for the long wait. You are in a very, very difficult situation. Okay? Plus, you realize the dangers I'm in. Nobody does, right? This is why I've got this jovial, totally inappropriate attitude towards somebody who's like a murder target for these folks, right? They want to like to kill me or make sure I'm considered crazy by everybody so that I'm not a credible witness. And they're very serious about all that. Okay, so let me put this on pause. Hold on. I don't remember now my progression of thoughts. However, I did want to say that this long wait looks to me like another trashing. It's like a mandatory trashing of me by everybody, whether they want to or not, because I was raped while asleep. This is what's happened to me in life. Everybody, without exception, must trash me first. And these trashings are not just trashings. They have to hurt me. Okay? If they don't hurt me, they're not a trashing. The trashing has to hurt. Okay? When somebody has hurt me, then they're now able to accept me. And I've said, anybody does that to me from here on out, they can forget about having anything to do with me. But I've been saying, this long wait, although it looks like a trashing, it's not one. You are getting trashed as well by the long wait. Okay? This is not something you want. So I've been saying, there's got to be a good explanation for this long wait. Okay? When I get together with you, you're going to have a good explanation. And so I do believe that. Now, what else was I going to say? I can't remember yet. I've spoken for six minutes, and here's why I wanted to speak. If you are secretly able to surveil me from my phone or phones, and you're able to watch my wife, and you're saying, this wife of his is scary. She's negative about everything, and she seems to be negative about me, okay? Here's what I want to say to that. My wife is negative about everything, without exception, okay? And I've told you before, okay, I don't want to sound like I'm scolding you, but I'm not. I've tried to tell you that my wife is the only person I ever met in this world who gets upset when she hears good news. No. I don't know. She's asking me, is the SIM card in my phone? She's all upset. She has a right to be. She doesn't like the surveillance and harassment. She's all upset all day long. Okay? She doesn't know what I'm saying, but she's asked me, is the SIM card in my phone? Other people put the SIM card in when they feel like they're in danger. We're in danger. She doesn't realize it, but she's always telling me to take the SIM card out. Well, it's fine with me because never mind all that explanation, okay? I'm saying, if my wife seems negative toward you, that's a good sign. Okay, I can tell you right now she is not negative toward you, no matter what you're seeing or think you're seeing. Now, I've heard this kind of thing myself in life. The boss doesn't dislike you. This kind of thing. No, this is different. Okay, it's me talking, okay? Did you ever see the Deer Hunter movie? That woman played by Meryl Streep. She's telling that man who likes her, I forget his name, but he's the guy who's... he ends up killing himself in that game of Russian roulette, okay? He ends up killing himself in that game because he just won't come around to realizing he can get out of that war and stop that foolishness, okay? Even though we read that there was no such Russian roulette game playing over there in Vietnam as presented in the movie. No such thing ever occurred there. That's all just symbolism to show, I would say it from my interpretation, just how high the anxiety level was over there. It was like playing Russian roulette all day long to be over in Vietnam. That's what it was like. Okay, so especially if you got captured, or it doesn't mean whether you got captured or not, it was an anxiety trip to be in Vietnam. Okay, I'm not going to explain. Okay, but my wife likes you. Okay, so I'm saying it's me talking the way that man was telling Meryl Streep after she comes and she says she's going to live in his place for a while. She means to pay him and so on. He says, pay me? What are you talking about? It's me you're talking to, okay? Okay, so I am not that character, but I can use the good there. As Chaucer said, take it the wheat and let the shaft be still, okay? You take the good and leave the bad. So the good part of that is, Sayaka, it's me you're talking to, somebody who loves you, okay? So please listen. Bye for now. Footnote, in the movie Papillon, when Papillon's escaping from Devil's Island on that coconut raft, he's floating out in the ocean and he screams in defiance, "I'm still here, you bastards!" Right? Well, I was just thinking about that, and I was also thinking about something this work friend of mine I had many years ago, an African American woman who was married to a man who worked for Howard University in D.C. And she was from, if you can say this, North Carolina. She was African American, so she's a descendant of slaves. She was. Not all blacks are, or for that matter, not all African Americans are. You could come from Africa and become an American and not be a descendant of slaves. Okay, but this lady was, and one of the things she used to say was, "I'm glad God showed me that." Okay. Now, she was Christian, but it was an interesting way of speaking. Now, she was telling me that her father was dying of cancer, and she was taking care of him. And toward the end there, she said when he woke up sometimes, he would say, when he opened his eyes, he'd say, "I'm still here." I was just thinking of that, that's all. Back in 1978, when I was getting into that relationship with my concentration camp survivor friend, I was in an office next door to hers, and there was absolutely nothing going on in that office. Okay, no visitors, no calls, no anything to do all day long. Nobody walking by the door that I had propped open and left open, just like I have the door to this trailer open now. All these years later, it's now over 40 years later, and I've been thinking I'm going to start a relationship with you, Bashuasi. And I've often been in this trailer with the door propped open, nothing going on in this trailer, and me being in a kind of solitary confinement. It hasn't changed much all the way back to when I was in that office. And my concentration camp survivor friend was saying to me, "You never had a girlfriend?" I said, "No, no, I didn't." And she said, "I cannot believe this." And I said, "Well, I don't know why, but it just women just don't seem to want to have anything to do with me." And she said to me, "They would love you if they knew you."